still got 2 minutes.
Yeah, William, you made this old woman run. He's gonna find out and tell me.
It's somewhere. I know it's somewhere. I just.
Accidentally, I would.
The West Central Ave, is that from the school all the way down?
6:30, isn't it? Everybody ready?
Yep.
It's just what we messed up.
Good evening, and welcome to our City Council work session this June 22nd of 2026. I'm going to call our meeting to order. We're going to do our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Jeff Meadows. If you would, if you're able, please stand with me. Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together in service to our community. Grant wisdom, integrity, and understanding to our council members as they consider the matters before them tonight. Help them to make decisions and promote the well-being, safety, and prosperity of all residents. Guide our discussions and with respect and cooperation, and remind us that our shared commitment to serve the common good. We ask for your blessings upon our city leaders, its employees, first responders, and businesses and families. We ask all these things in your precious and heavenly name. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. This time we're going to set the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I would like a motion to approve the agenda by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Meadows. All in favor? Motion passes. We have 12 items on the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve that? Mr. Meadows, second by Ms. Shoemaker. All in favor? That motion passes unanimously.
Mayor,
Yes.
I didn't want to pull it from the agenda, but I just want to recognize the effort that staff put in to bringing on a new TDA board. Getting that fully staffed or fully appointed, I think will be a big step forward, and they'll be able to continue doing some of the good things they've done in the past with a full board. I just want to recognize the effort that went into that.
Yes, I agree. That's a new beginning, so it's going to be a good thing.
Well said.
Thank you, staff. All right, next on our agenda are presentations. Presentation of Kemp A. Michael Way, Mr. DuPont.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight I would like to go over the Kemp A. Michael Way Road project in our South Gateway. But before I do so, I want to recognize some of our project management team that have worked tirelessly on this project. Jason Green, our Public Works Director, Stephen Haney, Manager of Capital Projects and Inspection, John Ford, our City Engineer, Robbie Stewart, Deputy Public Works Director of Utilities, our two site inspectors, Ryan Phillips and Robert Cormier. They have done a great job. I am up here presenting, but they have done all the work. They have spent countless hours in the rain, in the heat, making sure that this road is done to the standard that the public expects. So I really want to acknowledge all of them, and some of them are in the room tonight, and I want to appreciate them for what they've done. So for those in the public and watching online that may not be aware of this project, this has been a long time coming. It really started back in 2008 with the strategic vision plan, looking at this area. How do we engage this area, get this property or this part of the city to kind of be revitalized and more productive with some needs that the city had. Went through, did some proactive overlay and rezonings in 2009, then moved into the infrastructure needs. So did a traffic study in 2018. We received state revolving fund up to $4.7 million for a sewer force main upgrade to allow the sewer capacity for the projects that are already going on out there. Then we went into and adopted the South Gateway Connector improvement measures for what were identified in that Kimley Horn study. And then we really started into the design of the road in 2022 and have started through the construction process, and now we're here looking at phase 2 tonight. I just want to kind of give you that this has been nearly 20 years in the works. A lot of staff time over the years, a lot of past city council's investment and energy into this initiative that has a lot of benefits that we're seeing today out there. So really the problem being solved. So I would like for y'all to really look at this aerial. When this study was done back in 2018 with Kimley Horn, this is an aerial of the South Gate. We see how really the YMCA is there, Water's Edge, Shooters Express, Textum Weaving, Holiday Inn, but there really was nothing else out there. So knowing that things were to come, we were trying to get ahead of it and say, what are we going to do with the 31,000 new daily trips once this whole area is built out? We also want to look at safety. The intersection at NC 273 and Caldwell Drive was the only ingress-egress for motorists. We've had some fatalities there over the years, many accidents, which our police department and our fire department have had to deal with over the years. And then economic development catalyst projects. So engaging a landlocked parcel of 15 acres, another 35-acre vacant property, water quality improvements, because this project has a water line, and also fire suppression. We'll be adding fire hydrants on this road. And then the sewer capacity investment. So the sewer capacity investment, that was priority to get that done first. That's what allowed a lot of the development that's out there now, the Fairfield Inn, the medical office buildings, the redevelopment of the gas station. So what's out there now could come without the road, but it had to have the sewer, and past council saw the need for that and moved forward with that. And also this road includes Carolina Thread Trail connection to allow the public to, once they're living out there and visiting out there, to the businesses they can get to and from without having to be on the road in a vehicle if they wish. So again, I want to go back to show you all the green space of where we were 8 years ago. And now you can see all the development we've been preparing for. Now, some of this is not in the city limits, like the Caramont Regional Medical Center and the Belmont Hotel, but a vast majority of it is in the city of Mount Holly. And so we really are looking at this road to be ready for the development that's still yet to come. And you can see that undeveloped, there's nearly 50 acres of undeveloped property. We have nearly 80 acres of completed projects, and then we still have about 40 acres of in progress, and then a portion that's under review. So you can see that there's still a lot of energy in this area, and so it's really good timing that this road is going in so that we can start accommodating the rest of this growth. So here's some pictures that our staff provided of the project as phase 1's been under construction. Again, the majority of the length of it is in phase 1. And then here's a really good picture of phase 1 showing, proximity to the other sites around it. So just a basic breakdown, phase 1, 900 linear feet of the 1,500 linear feet of the project, has multi-use greenway path on it. Phase 2 is a shorter section of 600 linear feet, and almost half of that is the bridge that we would have to construct across the Colonial Pipeline. We have reached out to Colonial to see if there's accommodations for any design. We have not heard anything back from them. And when we were going through this initial design with them, they were very matter of fact that this is how we will let you cross our property. And it is pretty straightforward as we can be about it. And we understood that, and so we designed a bridge that would meet their specs. But we're still always engaging with them to see if there's accommodations to be made. So really, this slide, I really wanted to paint the picture because this project's in all the other projects that was from the rezonings and the overlays to the sewer force main have been investments in this corridor, and the bridge is just another, or phase two is another portion of that investment. So in the slide here with the graph, on the left side, it shows how much total property value in the hundreds of millions there has been over the years. So way long ago, 20 years ago, in the early 2000s, it was very minimal, just because a lot of it was vacant. They didn't have any uses out there. It's wooded, so it was very low. And then I want you to pay attention in here to, I'm going to try to move my mouse to it. In 2021, between 2021 and 2026, that is where you start to see that climb in the tax revenue. That is when the sewer force main project came online, and that's when properties, owners, investors could come in, do the Fairfield Inn, start working on the medical office that's going behind the water tower, do the medical office that's up at the road, do the Han Hunter property in front of the Holiday Inn. So you're starting to see where that investment of that sewer force main has returned tenfold in the tax revenue. So on the right side where it shows 900,000, 800,000, that shows you the tax revenue that the city has seen because of that investment of that infrastructure. And with that, you can also see where there's no investment. If we had not done any investment, no zoning overlays, no road projects, no sewer projects or anything like that, people couldn't build, or they couldn't build what's out there today. They could do something lesser. So you can see what that no investment return would have brought us. So really, even though this is not what we'd like, where the cost of phase two has gone higher than we originally planned, we do see, when you step back and look at it in the grand scheme of things, $15 million in investment with the road and the sewer is generating upwards of a few hundred million dollars of property tax value over the next 10, 15 years. So just want to make sure our council was aware of that. So the path forward before you tonight, phase two will require financing to debt service this project. There's 2 resolutions that were included in your packet that staff would request council's consideration. And just to kind of look at the due diligence we've done, we have been reaching out to lenders, and we're hopeful that we could get a 10-year period loan, have approximately $750,000 debt service over those 10 years. And we feel confident that we can get that. It might be a little different as we get into it, just as we work through the LGC process, but that's what our target is. And we hope to have that done the next 6 months and hopefully begin phase two construction by the end of the year. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Mr. DuPont? Mr. Meadows?
So the gas station worked with the gas company and has moved on with their construction, and it seems like they're not having to do quite as much as we are. Are we attempting to get some relief? It seems like this is almost doubled the project cost strictly for the gas company.
Mr. Blanton, do you want to address that?
I'll be glad to, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Councilman Meadows, we have. Last week, I reached out to Representative Torbett's office, and I asked for assistance with Colonial Pipeline to go back and have an additional conversation with them to see if there are any options, any alternatives for relief. We also had this brought to the attention of our state senator on Friday, Saturday, so we continue to explore those options. We continue to seek additional meetings with Colonial to see if there are options for considerations in order to see if we can cut that price tag down from the estimates that Mr. DuPont had provided tonight. We are asking council in the event that that does not happen, that we have this option to move forward with financing the project. But yes, we continue those conversations with our General Assembly members and with Colonial Gas.
Mr. Meadows?
Is 10 the most that we can get for term? Is 12 or 15 available, or is that not?
I'm sure we have, I would like to call up our finance director so that I don't speak inappropriately on this.
There are several options available. There's a 10, a 15, At Truist and at South State, there's an option of 2 years of interest and then 10 years of paying on the principal. So we have multiple options.
Mr. Brooks?
So how does it work with the loans? If we do receive a loan, will we be able to pay it off sooner if we get money from Overcash and Torbit?
It would be the hope that if we are able to get a direct allocation from the General Assembly, that we could use that fund, those funds up front prior to getting the loan. It would be, we hope to have some answers in the next few weeks regarding what a budget may look like in the General Assembly, which is where we are heavily soliciting and lobbying for this funding. So in the event, Councilman Brooks, that we do receive that funding, we will use that money in lieu of any type of loan or financing through the Local Government Commission.
Any other questions? Mr. Meadows?
I'm afraid to ask this one out loud, but I know we spent a ton of time laying out this particular pathway, but is there an alternative, maybe over the Textron site or something that's a little off the beaten path that we haven't looked at? $6 million for a bridge that they're requiring where others have not had to do that when they've done is just really, I think there's been a great effort over time to get to where we are, and I hasn't even asked that question, but is there another path for the road to follow at all?
We did try in the beginning as hard as we could in working to find an alternative route that did not cross the Colonial Pipeline in this area. And we were not able to find one that was suitable to the property owners that we were talking to.
Any other questions for Mr. DuPont? All right, we'll move on. Thank you, Mr. DuPont. Great job.
Do you need a motion?
You need to move forward with this. Well, I know there's a possibility that we may have some different financing. So you want to make a motion, Mr. Meadows?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the two resolutions.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Shoemaker, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. DuPont.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is old business discussion of downtown park. Mr. DuPont.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is just a follow-up from the last meeting. Staff had some time to consult with management, and we wanted to share some ideas and some approaches for next steps. So we believe there is an immediate opportunity for engaging this property. So as you can see, the map shown identifies 2.35 acres that the city owns that is west of the stream and south of Municipal Lane, north of Catawba Avenue. And we have some proposals for some select timbering and the opportunity for maybe putting in some natural surface trails to allow for some passive recreation. And I have a map here that kind of shows what that could look like. We worked with our GS department to evaluate opportunities to connect existing sidewalks to some paths that would allow anyone to kind of get into the property, access it, but still make sense with the land as it lays currently without having to do any massive grading at this time. But this would be, with it being a proposed natural surface trails, as things change, as direction comes forward, we can always, relocate the trails, move them, but really just trying to make sure that now that we have this property, how can we let the public engage with it? And so the immediate opportunity is easy enough for us to do that in-house for the trails, and then we would use an outside consultant or contractor to do the selective timbering. We also have areas of focus, so we identified the 2.35 acres west of the creek, but we'd also look at a portion east of the creek that the city owns for timbering and clearing. This is the area that's the kudzu. It's kind of the rougher terrain. We would look to kind of get in there and do something maybe more in the wintertime when it's easier to see. Right now, we have gotten some proposals for what that could, what the clearing costs could be for that, but they have been astronomical because people can't see in there, so they have to throw the number up high because there's a lot of liability. They might underquote something and need special equipment. So we feel like we can get a better, have a better opportunity to analyze that once the foliage is dropped back during winter. So we would hold off on that part, but do that later this year. Staff could develop a strategy for implementation that includes playground, bathrooms, creek and natural area access, pedestrian connectivity within and from the site, focusing also on a connection to the park across Catawba Avenue, the existing park, for passive recreation and possible other improvements that could be done to enhance that park. We could do some, we recommend doing a public input for an online poll ranking amenities provided by our recreation staff. What I listed above is just a few, but we would do a comprehensive evaluation and then have, get some public input on ranking them, and then hold a public meeting as well to get input and then also share some opportunity for next steps. Revenue source, we would recommend utilizing economic development sale of real property along Central Avenue. With that, the next bullet is the importance of additional public parking. So we'd analyze opportunities for retaining maybe some of that property for public parking dedication. And so this is really some key areas that staff feels very confident that we could strive towards. And for next steps, we would recommend that staff move forward with select timbering west of the stream starting July 1st. That would be approximately $40,000. And then move forward with the areas of focus with the strategy implementation, public input, revenue from economic development sale, and public parking consideration. So that's staff's recommendation, and be more than happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. DuPont? Mr. Meadows?
Question for, do you need any action from us?
I think this is more for just information for the moment. I will ask one question as far as the public meeting. I know you mentioned the online input that we could have. Have we looked at any kind of dates for just a couple public meetings?
No, I was really wanting to make sure I got direction from y'all tonight before we move forward to any of this.
Right.
So if y'all are good with this as a whole, then staff can start scheduling things, start working to implement these initiatives through this areas of focus. But until then, we haven't proceeded with any.
Okay. Mr. Meadows?
So I see a $40,000 number. Is that an actual bid, or is that an estimate, or what is that?
No, we have 3 bids, and it just came in under $40,000 for select timbering of the.
Do you need action from council to move on that, or do we have consensus for staff to move forward with that?
Consensus is what we were looking at. We were seeking to get buy-in from the plan to see if there was any tweaks or changes the council may have. But if council's comfortable with moving forward with what Mr. DuPont has proposed tonight, we will hit the ground running. We will make this happen. And if we need official action from the council in the future, we can bring it back to you guys. But if you're comfortable with this plan, we can certainly work towards implementing starting July 1st.
Is everybody good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. We're going to move forward. Mr.
I'd just like to thank the staff for the effort put forward in this and bringing this to us, something that we can actually work with and make this park come to life here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're moving forward. So thank you, Mr. DuPont. Great job.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Okay, new business. The city manager report, Mr. Blanton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have several things that I want to share with the council and the public tonight because we have a lot of great things happening in Mount Holly. Last week, we received official word that we have been awarded $302,580 in FEMA relief assistance. A special thanks to Mr. Smallwood for his work on that. That money is going to go towards helping stabilize our riverfront greenway. I received a call from Senator Budd's office last week, and we are certainly appreciative of our delegations in D.C. and our staff's effort in securing that funding in order to improve, enhance, and secure our greenway at the riverfront. So great job, Eric. Also tonight on consent, City Council approved paving West Central and Hawthorne. This is behind Ida Rankin. We certainly appreciate the community's patience as we've worked towards the infrastructure improvements in that area, and we are going to work in the upcoming days to do the repaving in that area. So again, we ask for your continued patience and support as we finalize out that project, and we continue to look at additional paving options in that area. Our Public Works Department, Streets Department does a great job identifying issues and putting a plan in place that will help to provide additional paving in that area. Also, a lot of moving and shaking at River Street Park. We are waiting for concrete currently, and we are going to be planning a grand opening of the bridge later this summer. We also, on consent tonight, working to provide for $10,000 in a grant that we received for disc golf expansion at River Street Park. So we are excited to see the movement out there. We are continuing to work and monitor progress at OMB. It's going to be a very big year for that area. So we are very excited to see those projects come online, and of course, very supportive, very much appreciate the support of our city council in moving these initiatives along. Also, I want to speak to the Boyle advisory issue that was issued a few weeks ago. First and foremost, I want to thank our Public Works team, our Public Works Director, Jason Green, our Deputy Director, Robbie Stewart, as well as our water plant operator, Mr. Jeff Womack. We had a very difficult situation, and thanks to their quick thinking, we were able to address the situation in a timely, impressive manner and avoid any further issues or problems. I do want to apologize for any confusion that was created in the public in regards to the Boyle advisory, because it was precautionary, it was not mandatory. If it was mandatory, we would have taken additional steps to ensure that more notice was given, but this was simply a precaution. But I know there was a lot of questions, a lot of concerns surrounding that. I would encourage residents to ensure that your contact information is up to date with our utilities department, to ensure that when we do send further notices out that you are that you're included in that. And again, like I said, this was precautionary. In the event of mandatory action, additional steps would have been taken to ensure that everyone knew what was going on. So first and foremost, thanks to our team for their hard work on that. And again, I am sorry for any confusion that was created in the community. On a positive note, last week, the North Carolina Department of Labor recognized 3 of our departments, our police department, our utilities department, and our Parks and Rec department. It was a wonderful night last week at the Gastonia Convention Center, where the Deputy Commissioner honored these departments for the great work that they have provided over the last year. We have a wonderful team in place that puts safety as our highest priority. So a special thank you to our department heads that made this happen, Ms. Debbie Rogers, our OSHA consultant, for her great work in securing these awards for our city. Also, last Friday, we had our first Juneteenth celebration at Ransom Hunter Park. Certainly thank you to the community and council that attended that event. And on a side note, according to Placer AI, over the last month, Ransom Hunter Park has seen over 1,300 visits. So that has been a tremendous, tremendous asset to our portfolio of parks that we were able to bring online over the last year. So we are certainly very proud of that. Looking ahead, coming up this week, we will be having our fireworks show on Thursday night and Groove Machines starting at 6 p.m. in downtown. There will be some traffic issues. There will be some street closures. So if you're going to come out, celebrate, we hope that you will get there early, and we're looking forward to a great time. There are also a lot of great events that have been happening in the private sector. Over the weekend, Muddy River celebrated their 2-year celebration with a tremendously successful event. And this weekend at Tuck Park, our friends with Unity in the Community will be having a free community event starting at 12 p.m. So certainly thanks to all of our friends in the private sector for continuing to make great things and great events happen here in Mount Holly. Also, Independence Day will happen from the time tonight until we meet again. City administrative offices will be closed on Friday, July 3rd. We invite the community to attend the Gaston County-wide parade in Dallas celebrating America's 250. That will be on the 4th in the afternoon. Here in Mount Holly specific, we are planning a USA-themed drone show for September 11th. It will be an American-themed, 250-themed drone show that we will be having on September 11th at our downtown concert series as we celebrate America's 250 all year long. So please mark your calendars and be sure to join us for that. And lastly, I did want to thank Mr. DuPont for his presentations tonight, particularly with the Kemp A. Michael Way. This is a transformational project that is going to be opening up hundreds of millions of dollars of investments in our South Gateway, and I want to assure the public and assure our council that we are doing everything we can to cut costs, to work on creative funding mechanisms, and we will continue to have these conversations with Colonial and our General Assembly members, and if we have any additional information or as developments occur, we will bring those back to the City Council. That's a lot, but that is all that I have tonight, Mr. Mayor, but I'm glad to answer any questions or concerns that any members of the council you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Blanton? Mr. Meadows?
So I would like to ask staff to bring back a map of all the capital improvements from Tuckasegee all the way up to the dam, given that we've got the transformation of the decommissioning site, we have the extension of the bridge over the Dutchman's, we have the disc golf, and we have the trails that are all new in concert with what we've had. It's really neat to see what we have from the dam all the way to Tuck with what's existing, with a timeline on what's coming on. So you can really see the community being connected with nature. We're actually finally getting there 20-something years later, but a lot of these projects that we've talked about for a long time are actually hitting the ground. I'd love to see that, if that's possible.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right, great job. Okay, this time we're going to go into our closed session pursuant North Carolina GS 143-318-11A, 3, and 5. Ask for a motion to go into our closed session. Mr. Craig, second by Ms. Shoemaker, all in favor. We are now in closed session. Good luck out there, folks.